Hi, I'm Rob, I have Brick and Mouse Syndrome, and we need to talk about the Download lineup announcement and the reaction to it again. So, as you're all aware, Download Festival finally made their announcement of, their first announcement of the bands that will be there for next year. And the great thing is, it's over 90 bands that have been announced to play there. All the headliners, possibly the headliners for the majority of the secondary stages, so 2nd through 4, and a hell of a lot of the undercard. It's really freaking cool, and once we get past this 1 minute 30 mark, I can start swearing for future monetization purposes. Now, there are quite a lot of bands on this lineup that I was not expecting. Let's start with the headliners. I wasn't expecting Green Day, Sleep Token or Korn. I wasn't expecting them. And honestly, Green Day, it's about time they played at Download UK. Korn, it's about time they fucking headlined it. And Sleep Token, I don't get them, they're not a band for me, but they're up and coming, they're selling out arenas damn quickly. It's about time that festivals started realising they are the ones that are making their headliners, and they need to actually make some new headliners. In general, the alternative music scene is getting older. A lot of the old boys are retiring, giving up touring, or just plain not good enough to tour anymore. Let's look squarely at Motley Crue for that one. So overall, are these three headliners actually download worthy and something that you'd expect to see at a Download festival? Yeah, have you not been paying attention to the past few years that have been going on there? How since post-pilot we've been getting a younger, fresher blood come through. It's almost as if they actually paid attention during that COVID lockdown and realised, hey wait, things change, people die, let's move on and try and prevent this from dying. A lot of people are pissing and moaning and being little bitches about Sleep Token headlining. I do not care for them. They are not a band that interests me in the fucking slightest. And that's okay. I was there the year that Feeder headlined. No one saw Feeder headline that year. So every time people bitch and moan about when Biffy played the other year and it wasn't a huge crowd, they came round after the band on second finished. So I'm sorry you weren't there to see that, and I'm sorry you're wrong. There's a crazy idea that maybe we should have newer bands headlining because all the regulars we have are old and dying. I hate to keep hammering on that point, but they're getting old and dying. We don't have Lemmy anymore. We're not going to have Ozzy for much longer. Iron Maiden can only go on for so much longer. I mean, AC/DC, they're only back now because of a miracle freaking cure that made someone fit to be in public again. We're losing bands, we're losing legends. We need to accept it's time to move on. If you feel like Download is no longer a festival for you because of free headliners, cool, go find something else. You don't have to piss and moan that your now incredibly expensive option isn't as good in your mind as a cheaper option like Bloodstock. So go to Bloodstock. I mean, I wanted to go to Bloodstock this year and I missed out on the tickets for it. I wasn't going to go to Download this year. I am now. That's your headliners. Let's have a look at those main logoed acts and see who we've got. We've got Weezer, Bullet, Jimmy Eat World, Don Broco, Spiritbox, Sex Pistols with Frank Carter, Within Temptation, The Darkness, Steel Panther, McFly, Apocalyptica, Craigler Phil, Lorna Shore, and Sixth. A lot of people wouldn't expect some of these bands to even be on a Download lineup. Let's look at that first one, Weezer. A lot of people see Weezer as this meme band now, and well, that's probably because Rivers and the boys have always taken the piss out of everything. and now lean into the jokes. I don't blame them. They're a really good band, a lot better than people give them any fucking credit for, and rightfully they should have been at Download in the first couple of years. Why they weren't, I'll never know. Obviously the biggest one in that logoed set is McFly. A lot of people do not like the fact that McFly are there. I grew up not liking them, actively hating them, and I don't care that they're there. They are a lot of people's first introductory band to alternative music, and if a manufactured pop punk act worked and it got people listening to other bands, great. I'm always going to celebrate people's differences, not things that make everyone a fucking carbon copy. I don't want a million clones, I want variety, and if there's more people, more variety and more people enjoying themselves, great. I don't want the gatekeepers. I don't want the arseholes that are there going, oh, it's not metal. I don't know where the sock is. I think I took it to Download last year and it might still be in the bag. I'll look into that. Apocalyptica is always a funny shout because if you were there for year one, you'll remember waiting at main stage for a band to come on. Only for Apocalyptica to show up when you weren't expecting it. And then to hear the second 10 erupt. We all missed Metallica. Whoops. Sixth was a band I wasn't expecting, especially this high up on the lineup. To be in the logo sect tells me they're either going to be headlining fourth, or they're going to be high up on Avalanche. I realistically don't see them, even though they're one of my favourite bands, I do not see them getting onto first or second stage. I think they could pull it off. Unfortunately, they've had a lot of hiatuses historically, so they will not be doing that. But I really recommend, if you like acts that would perform at 2000 Trees and don't know how to pronounce the word, Djent. If you like that style of music, you'll love Sixth. To call them pioneers in that setting is a fucking understatement. Time to do some research, look into Sixth. If you thought I was right about any of the bands I recommended last year, check out Sixth. Now, there will be a little bit of drama with a couple of these bands in this third section. We'll get to that in a second. Let's read down who these bands are, and let's see it. Airborne, Alien Ant Farm, Bleed From Within, Boston Manor, CKY, Dayseeker, Eagles of Death Metal, The Ghost Inside, Jerry Cantrell, Ginger, Mallory Knox, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, Meshuggah, North Lane, Polaris, Poppy, Starset, Turbo Negro, and Whitechapel. Now, with Alien Ant Farm and CKY on the same bill, that could be interesting, as CKY just got booted off of that co-headline tour with Alien Ant Farm. Apparently, the lead singer of CKY clocked the Alien Ant Farm singer right in the face. There's allegations of racism and other shit going on there. I'm staying the fuck out of that. Quite happy not getting sued by anyone. But it'll be interesting. That's the main thing. It will be interesting what actually happens and what goes on there, because none of us know. But it could be a punch-up. That could be interesting. Now, I think I've made it quite clear that I love dumb American-style punk. I love dumb punk, and some of the dumbest punk you can get is Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. I highly advise, if you know who NoFX are, you'll like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. It's sort of punk, sort of ska punk covers exclusively, so you'll get My Heart Will Go On. I remember exclusively their Titanic covers, lots of Western covers, lots of Dolly Parton, 90s, 80s, anything that's a silly song that would be sillier covered by a punk band that are not taking themselves seriously at all. Awesome, go check it out. The original lineups for Me First and the Gimme Gimmes included people like Fat Mike of NoFX, half the guys from Less Than Jake, I believe Bad Religion were in there as well. It's the heavy hitters of the SoCal sort of punk scene, and it's fucking awesome. Go check them out. Now onto that fourth little set of names there. We have Alcest, Amira Elfeki, I probably got that wrong, apologies, Einal Nakraf, Archers, Arrows in Action, RTO, Bad Nerves, Battlesnake, Bex, Currents, Dead Poets Society, Dead Pony, Ivor, Faytooth, Filter, Fit for an Autopsy, The Funeral Portrait, Gore, Graphic Nature, Harpy, The Haunt, Holy Wars, House of Protection, Karen Dio, Kim Dracula, Kitty, Lestelle, Loathe, Lolo, The Scratch, 7 Hours After Violet, Sim, Sophie Lloyd, The Southern River Band, Spiritual Cramp, Split Chain, Static Dress, Survive Said the Prophet, Svalbard, Silosis, Teen Mortgage, Trophy Eyes, Undersized, Unprocessed, Venus Girls, Vola, Vower, Vowels, Windhand, and of course, plus many, many more to be announced. So, anyone saying that this is not a heavy download hasn't read that. They have not read this lineup at all. They are completely fucking stupid. They could possibly be illiterate. And generally, if you hear anyone saying this is not heavy, there are no heavy bands on here, kick them in the penis, because I guarantee they're a fucking old man that doesn't bother looking past the headliners. They are wrong. Fucking wrong. Anyone pissing and moaning? You point them in the direction of Apocalyptica, Cradle of Filth, Lorna Shore, Meshuggah, Ginger, Einal Nakraf, Silosis, and there's more on there that even I'm not aware of. I don't know everything. These bands are your heavy bands. These bands are most likely going to be your fourth stage bands. You've got acts. Don't try and say this is just a pop punk fest, because you're fucking wrong. Your opinion doesn't matter, it doesn't count, and no one's going to listen to you because you want your blackened deaf jazz fusion band that has 2 monthly Spotify listeners to headline. You have an invalid opinion. You're just fucking stupid. Tea will calm me. Tea will calm me from dealing with you fucking plebs. Every year this is happening, and every year it's getting worse. Not everything has to cater for you, and that's fine. Not everything caters for me. Not every place I've been to, not every gig I've been to has got shit that I like plastered on the walls. It might not even be the music I like, but you know what? I'll go in with a positive vibe. I will try and enjoy myself. I was in two minds about going to Download Festival this year, because honestly I'm a bit burnt out from it. Part of my time away from doing these for a bit was because I'm burnt the fuck out. I'm burnt out working constant nights, I'm burnt out trying to find things to do, burnt out spending the only waking time I have in the middle of the night editing these videos. But I'm still going to do it. This lineup has actually convinced me that I'm going again this year. I wasn't going to. I was fully intent on making a video saying, lineup's pretty wank, I'm not going. I'm burnt out from getting heat stroke and then getting possible pneumonia the year after. I'm fucking exhausted. But genuinely, this lineup has changed my mind. I will be going back to Download Festival this year. I'm waiting for the missus to get money to buy her ticket, and I'll buy mine. I'm not doing another one of these fucking solo. They're miserable and shit. So will you see me at Download Festival next year? Yes, I'll be there. But you'll also see me at some other festivals because I've already bought the tickets for them. That's coming in another video. Does this feel like a Download Festival? Fuck yeah, this is a Download Festival. If anything, this is taking Download more towards its roots, where they took the chance on Slipknot headlining. Like they're taking the chance on Korn and Sleep Token. This new wave of Download Festival feels much more like it wants to take a risk, like it wants to do something, like it wants to prove that it's still a viable festival. I'm sorry if that means that a handful of bands you really, really want aren't there. But I've spent years doing the design your own download and your imaginary download lineup. And I put mine together every single year, what I want for that download. And it never comes out, and that's fine. Because no one wants something that's catered just for me. That'd be fucking shit. I'd have a whale of a time. Every other punter would fucking hate it. Music festivals aren't for everyone. Music festivals will never cater for everyone. If they try to do that, they end up looking like Glastonbury. Quite frankly, I'm never fucking doing Glastonbury. I do not like the look of it, I do not like the layout of it, and I do not like having to cross a literal city every fucking day. Download's bad enough, and that feels like you're walking across just a largish town every day. I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. There's a couple bands, at least, in the last section that I think deserve a bit more attention. Kim Dracula is someone that I've been sort of raving and using covers of their music in the background of my videos for a little while now. Highly advise you go check that person out. Don't know how they prefer their pronouns, so I'm just going to stick with gender neutral on that one. But it's a lot of sort of metal fusion stuff, what I suppose a lot of people would want as their headliner. Sadly, too new of an act, doesn't have a set time. Get the fuck over yourself. Very good act though, go check them out. Or at least check out the debut album they have. It's on Spotify. Go check it there because shipping from Australia is kinda fucked.
You're with me in the corner of your... One with the mic. I'll take it personally. You were versed in virtually no finger hurt. Believe heard at least 20 people take turns to speak. I'm sick of feeling like I'm a villain in the first degree. Don't make no fingers out of the to God. I don't do anybody, you gotta think I'll be a job. That's the one that I just put him in, then they take up a plate. I wanna think about it, the pockets are better, but I a different way. I wanna feel something. I wanna feel something. I wanna feel something. I wanna feel something. I want to be the one who hurts you.
The Funeral Portrait are another band I highly recommend you check out. Very new, I'm very new to them. I literally found out they existed 2 weeks ago. But they're very, very good. Check them out.
So ugly when you cry so bad.
are very good. Go check them out. Every time they've popped up at a download, I've been there to watch them. First saw them at the pilot video, so feel free to check that out. That was the Sunday morning opening act. I remember that one. Maybe content warning before you watch that, 'cause the lead singer does throw up everywhere. Nerves got to him. First festival they ever did, and they were the opening act on the Sunday. Tent was packed. Understandable, do not blame. So people, let me know, will you be there? Are you going to download this year? Are you checking out a different festival instead? Because there's a lot of things coming, a lot of change happening. Plans were for this year that I was going to go to Bloodstock and probably not download. Turns out none of my mates could get a Bloodstock ticket in time, so I didn't. And Download had actually a good lineup for me, so I'm going there. I do have tickets to other festivals already, but again, that'll be another video. Let's talk about this one down below instead. Will I see you there? Will I not? See you in about 8 months.